I think a lot of times when talking about great college football players, we tend to only talk about players who do things that are extraordinary, which can be a lot of things including an incredible stat line, or if they make a big play, etc. This makes complete sense because why wouldn't we talk about the most notable things that we see on the football field? But since this is the case, it causes us to forget how talented the average football player is. Every D1 football player has made it to that level for a reason, and just because they don't win an award or achieve first team all conference or whatever does not mean that they are not extremely talented. There are tons and tons of players who possess so much talent yet do not have the recognition that these other big players have. And while it's pretty much impossible to bring recognition to all of these guys, I think it's important to look at the ones that we can. With that being said, in this video we are going to look at Tyler Vaughns, a receiver who played for USC from 2016 to 2020. A guy whose stats and career don't really jump off the page, but when you watch him play, you can see the talent and ball skills that this guy possesses. So without further ado, let's get into it. So coming out of high school, Tyler was actually a really highly recruited kid, seeing as he was ranked as the 7th best receiver in the country and the 8th best player in California. However, his commitment to USC was overshadowed by another receiver from California that also had committed to USC. That guy was Mycah Pittman, who we all know now is a star receiver for the Colts. Like Tyler, he was also in the 2016 class, but he was ranked as the 2nd best receiver in the country and the 2nd best player in California. So upon Tyler's arrival, he was instantly overshadowed because he was playing beside and in the same class as Mycah Pittman. His first year at SC, he redshirted and didn't play in any games. It was not until the next season in 2017 that he would see in-game action. In that season, he had a really solid amount of production. Statistically, he was the 2nd best receiver on the team, behind Deontay Burnett, and ended the season with 57 receptions for 809 yards and 5 touchdowns. So to have that amount of production as a redshirt freshman is a really great way to start off your college career. The team ended the season with an 11-3 record and were ranked 12th in the final AP poll. So going into the 2018 season, he was looking to have a breakout year considering the redshirt freshman season that he had just had. His performance in that 2018 season would end up being no better than the previous year's performance. He ended that year with 58 receptions for 674 yards and 6 touchdowns. So pretty much the same amount of production from 2017. Although Tyler had a solid amount of production, the team had an awful year since they ended the season with a sub 500 record. Their starting quarterback during the year was true freshman JT Daniels, and he did not have the best year, throwing 10 interceptions. So that is the main reason that USC did not do too well as a unit that year, and in Tyler's case, he was not only competing with Mycah Pittman still, but had a true freshman QB throwing to him that was inconsistent at best. Going into the 2019 season, it was hard to tell if Tyler would be able to put up a good amount of production because he was playing beside not one, but 2 future NFL star receivers. Those guys were Mycah Pittman, like I mentioned, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. He was going into his sophomore year and had had a pretty good year the season before in 2018, as he had over 700 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. So with the competition that Tyler was facing, it was going to be really hard to gain recognition and get balls thrown his way. But he ended up having his best collegiate season. The offense as a whole was just very productive. Tyler finished the year with 74 receptions for 912 yards and 6 touchdowns. This is actually crazy considering Mycah Pittman and Amon-Ra St. Brown both finished the season with over 1,000 receiving yards. However, it was Mycah Pittman who had his breakout season as a senior. He ended the year with 101 receptions for 1,275 yards and 11 touchdowns. But nonetheless, Tyler was still able to put up really good numbers since he had just under 1,000 yards on the season, and with Mycah Pittman departing for the NFL, Tyler was looking to have a great senior year. Now, unfortunately for Tyler and every senior in the 2020 season, COVID severely limited the amount of games that teams played that year. Not only did the number of games that USC and Tyler play that year get cut in half, but USC had yet another emerging star at wide receiver named Drake London. With the 6 games that they were able to play in that year, Tyler put up 33 receptions for 406 yards and 3 touchdowns. Not bad at all for just 6 games, but with the limit on the amount of games USC was able to play, Tyler just did not have enough time to put up that production that he could have. Unfortunately, that year was his last year to put up enough production to get recognized since he was a redshirt senior. Now, I'm sure he could have gotten an extra year of eligibility because everyone who played in that 2020 season was automatically given an extra year, but he just decided not to for some reason. After college, he had brief stints with a couple of teams in the NFL, but it didn't really lead to anything. In May of 2021, he was signed to the Colts practice squad, but was then waived in August, got re-signed the very next day, but then was finally released 2 days after that. He then got his chance with the Steelers and was signed to their practice squad in September, which led to a future/reserve contract that he was able to sign in January of 2022. That only lasted until August of that year, and he was released by the Steelers for the final time. Post NFL days, Tyler was picked up by the Arlington Renegades and is currently playing for them in the XFL. He has played one full season for them, which was the 2023 season, and during that year, he was the second leading receiver on the team, with 31 receptions for 302 yards and 1 touchdown. So his time in the XFL is going really well so far, and I'm not sure if he's planning on an NFL comeback or if he wants to continue to play in the XFL. But whatever it is, I hope it goes well for him, and I'll be interested to see where he's at in a couple of years. So I hope that this video brings a little more attention to a very, very talented athlete. I think that the amount of stars that Tyler played beside was definitely a factor in the fact that he never really had a breakout season. He put together 4 really solid years, and had 2020 been a normal college year, then there's no doubt in my mind that he would have exceeded 1,000 receiving yards. But nonetheless, he put up really good numbers with the opportunities he was given, and with the path he's on now, he could still end up in the NFL, so we'll just have to see. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like and share the video, as that helps the channel to grow. Besides that, until next time.